welcome to the Patriot Hour for Monday, December 16th. If you are new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time. We know your time is valuable. Those returning Patriots, some of the greatest Patriots worldwide that I ever did get a chance to meet, look down below, all right? They comment, and they can lead you into great articles. Always think for yourself, all right? Here at the Patriot Hour, we like to promote thinking for yourself, researching for yourself, connecting all your own dots. Don't take what we say to be 100% word, fact, truth. Listen to everyone you want. Watch everything you can. I'm not here to tell you who's this or that. Watch it all, listen to it all, research it all. Come to your own conclusions, all right, based off all those facts. All right, we got a couple of quick Q drops here we're going to look at just for reference, and the last two that came out, or maybe three. But keep in mind, other than that, I got another story that you're going to want to catch after this. All right, we're going to get into R.Giuliani and some bombshell things that he's come out with. All right, so really quickly here, we will look into the watch. All right, this is a kind of a cool one. Bombshell, holy crap, and right on cue at 1:29. All right, we knew and we reported on, as many other channels, that at first we took the 1:29 to be when the IG report came out on the Twitter. All right, we know that the IG was released at like 1 p.m. via the website, and then the IG's official Twitter account dropped it at 1:29, and we had the watch picture like a week or two before saying the 2nd. But it got released on the 9th, so I don't know what the 2nd really meant, but it was more of the time, right? The time. So, go back to the post. So we have three things at 1:29 that happened. The IG report, then we had a Durham rebuttal come out, and a Barr rebuttal. We have confirmation that there are no coincidences. So that means one of the three things, Horowitz and Durham and Barr are all in communication with Q, or Horowitz and Durham and Barr were specifically directed by Q Plus to issue their reports and rebuttals at precisely 1:29. Why, POTUS? You'll find out. Just do it. Or some combination of above. Right? So the POTUS would tell him that. Why do you want us to do that right at that time? You'll find out. And just do it. Or three, right, logically, some combination of above. If you've established in your own life that there are no coincidences, all right, not that many, and never really. You might think you've had coincidences. There's another name for some of these other things that you think are coincidences. All right, so timing is important. How many coincidences? Use of coincidences essential not to violate national security. All right, before mathematically impossible. FISA equals start. So the Gang of Eight. We know Adam Schiff in the triple beam brackets here. I know this is really small to you. I didn't plan on getting too in depth. Thought we'd float over these. All right, but Gang of Eight D class. Adam Schiff. Knowingly. This dude, Adam Schiff, is on the, I don't know what's on this. We'll see. This guy, Adam Schiff, we know him. He is on the Gang of Eight, all right? He looks at the sensitive, he's supposed to overlook the FISA reports. He's supposed to look into them, be oversight. When Nunes reported this stuff 2 years ago, Adam Schiff was just as privy as Nunes. Was he going to tell us, I didn't have time to look into all the finite details, or I looked into them and I didn't come to the same conclusions. Nunes just happened to be right. But you came out and actually worked against that. You didn't say it's a possibility. You acted like it was 100% false. There was no possible way. And now to act like, well, yeah, no, we all found out. You're finding out things at the same time. And now here, us, we've known this. We couldn't prove it, right? We had to wait for it to come out officially by the IG and the reports, right? That's the logical system justice way, fair justice, right? And now he's saying that he finds out like at the exact same time that the rest of the world finds out. But yet he had all the oversight, was able to look at all the pieces of the puzzle that have been there the whole time. Mostly. Not some of the the work that Horowitz did, all right, in the investigating. But Nunes landed on the right answer, and this guy here knowingly. All right, so when the Gang of Eight intel material is declassified, it'll prove that Adam Schiff is a lying fraud. Things that we've already known. Edward Snowden coming back to the USA in 2020 at Snowden, hashtag homecoming 2020. And operators are on standby. Then it's almost like a phone number here. I've actually called that. And I should do it here on the show right now, but it just kind of goes to a data bank. And it tells you if you know a code, enter it. If not, I kind of hit 0 to see if it would get me to a generic operator, which it did, but it just rang, and it didn't really get you to a data bank, all right? So Gitmo operators are standing by. That's the number probably to Gitmo or something, right? Hilarious. There you go. Now we're going to look up Snowden here real quick just to show you how this works. Players. One player, right? All right, there's Snowden. Edward Snowden is an American computer professional from Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, employee and former contract for the United States government who copied and leaked classified information from the National Security Agency, NSA, in 2013 without authorization. On December 12, 2018, Q confirmed that Snowden is a traitor and negotiating his return. All right, negotiating. He was promised under the last regime to get brought back, under Brennan or whoever in the hell guided him or made him, all right? He was an implant from the CIA over to the NSA, and there's where he had his change of heart and wanted to disclose everything that the NSA was doing, which in one way people can argue that was good stuff, but the reason he did it was not for that, all right? That was the pitch. Patriot. Things they needed to know. Well, then you could have done that over here. For all the years he was there. If you're told from over here, we're going to send you over to this agency, but you really work here, and that's where your ties are, but we're going to send you over here, but this is where you're from, and we're going to send you over here, right? And you're going to rat on everything and create a whole bunch of noise for these guys. And while they're making a whole bunch of noise over here for these guys, we're going to be able to skirt around a little better and get ahead of them. Because it's a fight. It's an internal intelligence fight. So then you can hit that QAnon button for just his leaks, like in that actual player. So if you're in the player and you look somebody up, you could hit it. 62 drops, all about Snowden, right? The last one in order. Edward Snowden, all right? Homecoming. We go back to one before that. We're getting 11 of November. So not too long back, all right? Once C_A, always C_A, all right? And that was what I was just kind of saying. Former people that have been elected into Congress, people running for Congress, Senate, elected, presidency. We know like Bush, the original Bush. That's huge. Who else? How about clandestine? Snowden. Once and always. What happens if rogue elements of the U.S. ABC intel agencies target to insert U.S. political system, president, VP, House, Senate, NSC, U.S. ambassadors, etc., into their black op designed to control friend versus foe targeting, self-preservation? All right, so you can go back to the whole history of this stuff. All right, banking on Brennan to bring you home, were you? All All right, so that takes us back. All right, 11 March 909. Yep, earlier this year, March. So you go back and look at all that. All right, watch Giuliani. Well, I'll tell you. So it looks like he's negotiated now at this point, maybe. All right. This was his what was supposed to be happening the whole time with, or the people that were supposed to just bring him back home once they were in control, but she lost. This is a plan in action for a while, it seems like. So it's interesting. Watch Rudy Giuliani can barely contain himself. And this is what I've been describing with Lindsey Graham, all right? If you look up Lindsey Graham on the players as well, and again, that's just overall Q post and what the determination's been. Lindsey Graham is freed, all right? It says flipped and freed. And you can see during the Kavanaugh hearing, he really came through with the questioning of the government on the bodies of law pertaining to traitors and have they been hung, and taking it back to some World War II stuff, all right, Nazi Germany and traitors and things that were going on. So it was interesting. And then on Wednesday with the D-class of FISA report and Horowitz, Lindsey Graham was like, can barely contain himself. He was all smacking at the lips and just had this very well rehearsed speech or whatever he gave on the opening of that whole thing, and broke down the whole story pretty well. And I'd have to hand it to him that he's whatever's going on in his own life, that it's panned out to be good for us on the last couple of questionings and things going on up there. All right, so Rudy, all right, can barely contain himself, and this little guy we're going to watch. For the past several weeks, a personal attorney to President Trump has been in the Ukraine, interviewing witnesses and gathering evidence to shed light on what the Bidens were up to during the Obama years, and to get to the bottom of the claims that Kyiv interfered in the 2016 U.S. elections in favor of Hillary Clinton. He has enlisted the help of former Ukrainian diplomat, and I'm going to butcher this name, but this is Talensko, to gather information from politicians to ask them to participate in a documentary series in a partnership with One American News, OANN, which will make the case for the investigating the Bidens as well as Burishma Holdings, the natural gas firm which employed the son of a sitting U.S. vice president in a case which reeks of textbook corruption. I've already been saying this, folks. We kind of broke it down on this morning's show. And again, due to, I got a video, all right, the one I put out yesterday, 22,000, 24,000 views, got blocked worldwide by Fox News because I had the Comey interview at the end. I had the, I can't even remember all these scumbags' names. Adam Schiff, his video is in there, the interview. I had the full Comey. I had a little bit of the Barr. And man, they blocked it worldwide, so it took a shutdown. So I got to be careful how I show. I got to get inventive. I can't just always talk to you without showing proof, but we got to be careful not to break the rules of whatever. All right. They're getting, Fox News has seemed to be real bad lately with anything, with interviews and all that. All right, let me shut this music down, get this video up.
Information on the Democrats in Congress, specifically the Democrats like Adam Schiff in the House Intelligence Committee, or Joe Biden and his family, that's going to drop. Because I ask this because we have seen over the course of the past 2 weeks that every 24 hours something new, usually something that's negative about the Democrats or Biden, has come unearthed. Is there more to come?
Well, there's plenty more to come in the lawsuit, but I can't reveal it now because we're about 10 days away from really compiling what you would call a working draft and then making a decision. But I can tell you there's more on Joe Biden to come, sure. I'll give you a little hint. Now, these are things I haven't investigated. I'm telling you things I read. The part about Burisma and Ukraine and colluding in the election, I have investigated. I have the corroboration. I've never been asked for it. When the Secretary of State told me the State Department was going to investigate this, maybe they did, but they never asked me for the rest of my material. And as far as I know, they never questioned the key witnesses. Now, they could have, and I don't know that. So I have to be careful about that, and I hope I'm wrong about that.
Well, what is the corroboration that you have?
The corroboration I have are other prosecutors saying the same things as the first prosecutor said. Namely, I mean, it's as clear as the nose on your face that Biden bribed Poroshenko to get his son out of trouble. As clear as that. I mean, you'd have to be a fool not to know that. You'd have to be a fool to think he did it because he was worried about a corrupt prosecutor. When he had a scheme like this with his son, he's really worried about a corrupt prosecutor in Ukraine? And you want me to believe that? I mean, this is the guy that, you know, took on the mafia, the Teamsters, Milken, Boski.
I mean, Biden did admit it himself on video. We have Biden's own words saying this.
Wow. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, I'd have to say. Let me get that out of there. All right. Oh. There we go. So, not looking good for old Joe and son. All right, Joe and fam. Not at all. And if you listen to Joe's own words, he doesn't have any reason. He just always takes it to Trump. That's where the real issue is. Why are you questioning me? But this is what we were saying. This is like this is the college scam part 2. This is what happens to some of these kids of, you know, these famous people in Hollywood and whatnot, but more so the politicians. They groom their kids. They make sure they're put into Harvard and some of these other places. And just by that sheer fact of that, and they go through the skull and bones and some of these societies, they come out and they're just naturally appointed some crap like this. We know foreign companies can't give directly to elections, so the way around that is they give to the corrupt kids that are put into play over there, and it's a way around it. All right, so it's like the parents have access to their kids' accounts and they get in there and they just take out millions that were shoved in there for no good reason, for the kid knowing anything, not doing anything. You're seeing it. You're seeing it highly exposed with just Biden. But next is Pelosi and John Kerry and many, many others. All right, college scam part 2. We know they were going through school. What happens afterwards? All right. We'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour. Thanks for stopping by again. I'm Michael, Patriot Hour. Subscribe. Take a look in the description box. We appreciate it. Share the video. Take a minute to comment and give a thumbs up. Help beat the algorithm here. We were heavily shadow banned. We have been. And things were getting real bad. It seems like they've lessened up, but then other than that, we're gonna, you know, some of these channels like Fox News, they're getting bad on just they want all the views for some of these videos coming out. So we'll probably have to start showing less and less, and more filters. But they're bad enough to hit on audio too, just audio, like if you use the wordage. So, all right, gotta get more creative. Have a good day.